Recognized to address the secondary amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I, too, rise in support of Congresswoman Frankel's amendment to restore badly needed funding for the Education Department's Office of Civil Rights. I'm deeply disturbed by Republicans' attempts to cut this funding. The Office of Civil Rights plays a central role in enforcing Title VI protections for students and faculty from all backgrounds who are entitled to a learning environment free from hate and discrimination under federal law. Right now, our campuses are facing a crisis of anti-Semitism and hate. According to the latest data from the Anti-Defamation League, this past year was the worst year for anti-Semitic incidents on campus since the ADL began recording them more than 4 decades ago. These incidents have included verbal and physical harassment and intimidation of students. For example, at Queens College, which is in my district in New York, there were cases of graffiti on buildings that said, "You better start hiding, Jews," and "Hitler, please come back, teach Jews a lesson." So $10 billion is not a big cut. Tell that to these students who have had to witness and suffer from the fear. This is beyond the pale and morally reprehensible for our Jewish students to see. And they are witnessing this hearing because I told them to turn on the TV and to watch this markup as Republicans cut the very office that they are asking for protection from. This is not an isolated event, and it's why OCR is working around the clock to address these surges of cases like these. And just last week, OCR resolved 9 complaints against the City University of New York and entered into an agreement with the entire public city university system to ensure that each of its 25 colleges fulfills their Title VI responsibilities. Last month, Secretary Cardona told this committee that the department is woefully understaffed to handle the existing cases and asked for an increase in funding to resolve them. And earlier this month, 24 Jewish organizations from across the political spectrum wrote to us appropriators requesting that Congress provide the highest possible funding for OCR in 2025. So given this crisis, and they are watching, how do our Republican colleagues who purport to care about anti-Semitism on campus respond? By taking funding from the office doing the work of responding to anti-Semitism. You also tried to cut funding to OCR last year. My Republican colleagues are using Jewish students and Jewish trauma to advance a political agenda. But when it's time to step up and provide the actual resources to protect them on campus, they won't put their money where their mouth is. If the Office of Civil Rights can't investigate these cases, not only Jewish students, but students from all backgrounds who need protection will suffer. I hope my Republican colleagues will come to the table and make funding OCR a bipartisan effort to protect our students. I yield back.